For years, you've heard the same line. Cybersecurity has a massive talent shortage. Millions of unfilled roles. Get in now. So you did the work, you got the certification, you polished the resume, you applied, and then nothing. No replies, no interviews, or worse, you made it to the final round and got a "we've decided to go with someone else." Does that sound familiar? Well, a brand new report from SANS has just confirmed what I've been seeing on the recruitment side for the last 2 years. The reason you're not getting hired has almost nothing to do with a talent shortage. In the next few minutes, I'll share with you exactly what is going on the 5 things employers are now paying for, what you need to change in your approach this week if you want to land a role in 2026. This one may sting a bit, but stick with me because by the end, you'll have a real plan. Hey everyone, if you're new here, my name's Luke Gough. I'm a cybersecurity recruiting and career coach, and I've been recruiting now for over 15 years. I coach people every week who are stuck in this exact same spot. So let's break down what the 2026 SANS Cybersecurity Workforce Report actually said and what it means for your job search right now. Section 1. What does the report actually say? Well, the headline from the SANS 2026 report is a big deal. For the first time, the skills gap has officially overtaken the headcount gap as the #1 workforce problem in cybersecurity. Let that sink in. 60% of organizations now say their teams do not have the right skills to defend against current threats. That's the number. But what sits underneath that number is what should change how you job hunt tomorrow. Now, 27% of organizations have had an actual breach they can directly trace back to the skills gap on their team. That is not theory. That is a CISO standing in front of a board explaining why the company got hit. If you were that CISO, what would you stop doing? You would stop hiring for potential. You would stop hiring generalists. You would hire for proof. And that is the shift. That's what I want to get through to you today. Employers have stopped hiring for who might grow into the role. They are hiring for who can demonstrate the skill today. Not yesterday, but today. Quick favor while you're here, drop a comment below and tell me where you're at. Are you trying to break into cyber for the first time, or are you trying to level up inside the industry? I'm really curious. I read every comment and it helps me make these videos more useful for you. All right, moving on to section 2. Why the talent shortage narrative has hung around so long. Now, if the real problem is a skills gap, why have we all been told for a decade there's a talent shortage? Well, there's 2 reasons, I think. First, it's easier to say we can't find people. It sounds less uncomfortable than we can't train the people we have. It lets leadership off the hook, quite frankly. And second, regulation has made everything harder to hire for. The SANS report noted that regulatory pressure on cyber hiring has jumped from 40% to 95% in a single year. Think NIS2, DORA, the SEC rules, CMMC, APRA, CPS 230. Companies now need specialists who can demonstrate compliance with very specific frameworks, not generalists who just know security. So the market has not shrunk. It definitely hasn't. It has become more precise though. And if you are competing with a generic cert and a resume that says passionate about cybersecurity, you are invisible. Section 3. 5 things employers are actually paying for this year in 2026. So this is what I am seeing from the recruiter side, lined up against what is in the report. 1. Framework literacy. So NIST, ISO 27001, MITRE ATT&CK, DORA. You don't need to be an expert in all of them. You need to be able to speak at least one with confidence and map your experience onto it. Most candidates can't do this, and I can tell you that because I speak to them all the time. 2, you need hands-on evidence. So labs, home projects, CTF write-ups, a GitHub repo, even a blog where you can break down a real CVE. A cert is now your minimum ticket to play. I'm not saying you don't need them, you do, but it's the minimum ticket. You need proof of work, and that is what actually gets you interviews. You need to combine your certifications with your proof of work. 3, AI fluency. Now, you're probably noticing in my videos, I'm talking a lot more about AI now, because quite frankly, there are new things coming out every single day. It's quite incredible, the advancements in AI, and it's only going to continue. And when I talk about AI fluency, I don't mean I've used ChatGPT. I mean, you can talk about prompt injection, you can talk about model risk, shadow AI inside a company, how detection tools are shifting. Now, the report was very clear. AI is reshaping entry-level roles faster than any other force, and I'm seeing that myself. If you cannot speak to how AI changes your function, you are competing for shrinking ground. 4, governance and risk thinking. Now, GRC is one of the fastest growing areas I'm placing candidates in right now. The compliance wave has made anyone who can translate technical risk into broad level language extremely valuable. So if you come from an audit, finance, law, even project management, this is your angle. 5, communication under pressure. Once again, soft skills, which I talk about so much. Slower incident response was named as one of the top consequences for skills gap. In interviews, I am seeing more behavioural scenario questions than ever before. Now, if you're stuck on that, I have videos on my channel that talk exactly about the STAR method and how to answer behavioural scenario questions, so check those out. Section 4, what this means for your job search this week. So you might be hearing this and going, Luke, how do you actually move on this? Well, let's talk about that. Number 1, stop applying wider, start applying narrower. Pick 2 or 3 job families you genuinely fit. SOC analyst, IAM analyst, GRC analyst, cloud security. Tailor everything to those. Scattergunning 40 roles a week is why you're getting ghosted. Think about it. If you're applying for roles that quite frankly you want, but you're not right for, you're going to get overlooked. 2, rewrite your resume around evidence, not aspiration. So what do I mean by that? Well, every bullet point should answer the question, what did you do and what was the outcome? Not gained exposure to or learned about. Swap those words out straight away. 3, build one small piece of public proof in the next couple of weeks. A home lab write-up, a LinkedIn post breaking down a recent breach, for example, a simple GitHub repo with a detection rule. Something, anything. Most applications have nothing. So trust me when I say you will stand out with just by doing this. You won't need much, just something. 4, learn the language of one framework. Pick one. Pick NIST or ISO 27001 and spend a weekend getting fluent enough to drop it in an interview naturally. You don't need to go war and peace. You don't need to be an expert, but you need to have enough understanding to be able to talk and have a discussion about it. 5, practice the behavioural interview. There's a very good chance you'll be asked how you handle pressure and conflict. Now, have these stories ready. This alone wins more final round decisions than people think. So here's the truth the headlines won't tell you. The cyber industry is not short on people, it's short on ready. And ready is a gap you can close faster than you think because most of your competition is still chasing the old narrative. Now, if you take one thing from this video, please let it be this. Your next certification on its own is not going to change your outcome. Now, I'm not saying don't get certified, you do need to. But what will change it is the combination of a tighter target, proof of work, and the ability to talk about your skills the way employers now need to hear them. Now, the single biggest place most candidates fall down is the resume in LinkedIn. So if your profile does not land in the first 6 to 10 seconds of a recruiter looks at it, then none of the above matters. I've recently put together a live session called Get Your Cybersecurity Resume and LinkedIn Actually Noticed, where I walk through the exact changes I recommend you make. Now, the link is in the description. I think you'll really find it helpful. If you found this useful, which I hope you did, hit subscribe and share it with someone you know who's looking to break into cyber. As always, keep leveling up your career. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.